And Damon Wayans, you had an issue with his show getting canceled, right?
I think that was racism.
Well, here we go. Of course you think it was racism because there's no other reason under the sun a black person can have their show canceled. Continue.
When they canceled Damon Wayans' show with his son, Papa Coat.
Papa Co? Papa Co? Papa Coat?
Poppa cool.
Papa what? Nigga, you don't even know the name of the show that you talking about for you to feel so passionately about it.
A show about a heterosexual father and a heterosexual son. It wasn't sexy enough.
I'm wondering why you think a show has to have anything about sexuality revolved around it as the focal point. The show had nothing to do with a straight dad and a straight son. The show was about an older DJ having to adjust to times of becoming a podcaster with somebody that was a little bit younger than him, but also shared some back history of trauma in their life. It has nothing to do with anybody being straight, and for you to focus on that negates the entire premise of the show, which maybe it was an issue of the show and why it got canceled. I happen to be one of the people that watched this show all the time and loved it, and I am upset it got canceled, but let me be clear, I'm not shocked it got canceled.
It wasn't zesty enough for where America wants to take the black family. Remember, most shows now are interracial or same sex. Most commercials, interracial or same sex. They don't want to popularize black men raising their black sons.
It's really interesting that he thinks that all things in life boil down to we don't want to see straight people. This is just the most brainless thought I think he's ever had in his life. And there's many we could draw from, but we got to stop with this stuff. There's a myriad of shows where they have straight couples raising children, straight couples not having children at all, but being straight. And unless your gripe is no gay people should be on TV, then that's a whole different issue we need to talk about. But the problem is we still have shows like Abbott Elementary, The Upshaws, Bel Air, All American, Reasonable Doubt, Them. Like, I'm sure there's plenty more. Those are the first ones I could think of, but all these shows have not been canceled and are still running and are successful shows with black leads and with a predominantly heterosexual cast. Stop finding this stupid ass way to always inject your narrative into everything that happens in society.
Look what Deion Sanders is going through with Shador. Look what LeVar Ball went through with his sons. They don't want to see no strong black men raising no strong black boys. So Damon Wayans' show, even though they're claiming that they canceled it because the ratings dipped, I'm not buying it.
I will be fair to Umar here. The ratings did dip, but not in any significant fashion. They were relatively strong and consistent throughout its runtime this season. The show, for the most part, always held about 3 to 4 million viewers at airtime, and then overall stayed around 3 to 5 million viewers in total. So it wasn't a big, huge drop off in viewership, but again, it's just more about budget cuts and stuff like that. But the show was fairly favorably received. Why it got canceled, I can't say exactly, but shows like The Equalizer also got canceled, so it's probably just a cost-saving measure. And again, the show didn't have the staying power that I think a lot of other shows do. The Equalizer lasted way longer than I would have thought it did, but people liked it. In Papa's House, I enjoyed it. I think most people that watched it enjoyed it, but it was clear that that type of show didn't have long legs on it, and it is a little bit sad to see, but I don't think it has anything to do with being black or having heterosexual males in the show or anything that he's fucking talking about. As far as Shador and LeVar, I don't understand fully the Shador Sanders thing. I'm not a big football guy, so I can't speak to that too much. But LeVar had successful sons. He did what he was supposed to do. His kids made it in the NBA. Their skill set is a whole separate conversation if that's what you want to talk about. But LeVar did raise successful sons, so I don't even know what that's about.
And the reason I'm not buying it, they canceled the show art around April the 22nd. He was on Club Shay Shay like April the 2nd or something like that. The show didn't get canceled until 3 weeks after he was on Club Shay Shay, which was a fantastic interview. I didn't see the whole thing, Art, but the clips that people sent me, Damon Wayans, I didn't know he was that articulate and that conscious as a black man, one of the most underrated comedians of all time. I didn't know he was that conscious. And he really laid it down. He spoke openly about racism and other things. And I think, here we go again, confident black man don't know his place. I think Damon Wayans might have said some things in his interview with Shannon Sharpe that pissed off the gatekeepers of Hollywood, and they canceled the show.
This is absolutely fucking stupid. If Damon had a show that was gonna earn them money, why on earth would they give a fuck about him talking about racism on Club Shay Shay and then cancel the show outright? Isn't also the narrative that they'll milk black people for everything that's their worth? They know that we're talented and they know that we can outperform our white counterparts and we do everything great. Why would they take away a show that's destined to make them money all because he spoke about racism? That Shannon Sharpe interview wasn't something where it was like, oh my God, did you hear what Damon said about black people in Hollywood? He's not the first and he won't be the last. And to think that they're going to cancel every black person because they speak out about racism in Hollywood or racism that they experienced in their life, that's some brain dead ass shit, Umar, and you fucking know it.
That show was not canceled for ratings. That show was canceled because Damon Wayans, like Shador Sanders, don't know his place.
I just would like to know, what is a good reason to have a show be canceled or for an athlete to not get drafted? Can I get that info?
This is all about the slave masters retaking control over the slave plantation.
I don't have to say anything.
Look at the timing. They took him off 3 weeks after the Shannon Sharpe interview. If y'all was going to cancel him, you could have been canceled him.
You know why I don't buy that from you is because your very first argument was about the sexuality of the father and his son and how they were strong black men. Now you want to talk about what he said on Shannon Sharpe to further corroborate your idea that it got canceled because he talked about white folks. Which is it? I'm sure when they made this decision, something trumped the other, right? Or they just said, they're straight men, so let's cancel it. Oh, he also said racist stuff. That's it. I'm not buying it, bro. You just believe this because you want to believe it and you want other people to follow you because it sounds good and it sounds like you give a fuck about black people. When all you're doing is further victimizing them by making them think that they have no control around them and what they do, and no matter what, they're going to always be scrutinized and pushed to the side just because they're black. Thank you, Umar. Thank you.
Art, as you know, sometimes they cancel a show mid-season.
Correct me if I'm wrong for anybody that knows film. Isn't that only when a show is done live? These shows were already recorded. Why wouldn't they air them?
I've seen them cancel shows mid-season. Why y'all didn't take him off mid-season? Y'all canceled him because y'all realized that he's really a black man. He not no house nigga. Damon Wayans is a black man. And I'm going to be honest with you, Art. I was pleasantly surprised to see that.
You're full of shit. You probably never watched this show a day in your fucking life. I'm not trying to hear that. As somebody that absolutely loves the Wayans family and Major Payne being one of my favorite movies of all time, I don't buy your shit at all. You didn't even know the name of the fucking show. What is Poppa Co?
Because Mo Money is one of my favorite pictures, Damon Wayans. And his picture with Bruce Willis, what's the name of that? The Last Boy Scout. That's one of my favorite. That might be my favorite action movie of all time outside of the Eddie Murphys with the, what was it, Beverly Hills Cop 2.
As I just stated before, Major Payne is one of my favorite movies of all time. And I only brought that up because you claimed that you were shocked that Papa's House was canceled. And I think most people that actually watch Papa's House is not shocked that it got canceled. So you naming all these other Damon Wayans films as if it validates Papa's House existence, it makes absolutely no sense. Just because he's made great things in the past, it doesn't mean this show was necessarily great. Because as a viewer that liked the show, it was not an amazing show, and I'm not shocked that it got canceled. But to wrap this up, Umar is always lying to you and trying to gaslight people. Why bring up more racial contentious things when there's already enough racial shit going on right now? And we know that this is later than everything else that's been going on in the news as regards to what Trump has been doing and Carmelo Anthony's situation. So why just put more fuel on the fire? It's just not necessary. You could have talked about Papa's House being great since you watched it. Why didn't you talk about how good the show was to you, and then you can further defend you don't understand why it got canceled? We know why. It's because you didn't watch the show and you just tried to find a reason to race bait your audience even fucking anything more. You're a liar and you're full of shit, and I would like to see that school be done in the next year or so, because at this point, nobody fucking believes you. If you made it to this point in the video, man, make sure to leave a like, comment, sub. If not one, then all three. Also, I am trying to get to 5,000 subs by the 4th of July, which if I make it, I'm going to do a 24-hour stream. So make sure you share these videos with your friends, colleagues, associates that you think will resonate with the content. If you like it, they probably will too. Make sure you join the streams. Make sure you share those, like them, comment on them, all that. We're trying to push to 5,000 by July 4th, and I appreciate any and everybody that helped me accomplish that goal. So if you made it to this point in the video, man, I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.